What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 84 of Learn and Become podcast. Might be one of the episodes with the worst light. Uh, also, it's probably one of the episodes that I look most tired because I am indeed. It's not an episode I would like to record, neither that I'm thrilled about doing. Right now it's 10:16 p.m. and I've been working since around 8 a.m. It's been about 14 hours. I'm not saying that because I'm proud of myself, saying I'm working those many hours. I'm just saying it because I decided to have the commitment to post an episode every Wednesday on the podcast. That reminds me of the early years or the early days of the podcast when I started posting an episode every Wednesday. And I've done it before. I used to post an episode a week, even when the days were not easy. Sometimes I would have busy days, and still I would find a way to episode with some sort of content that would help you guys, inspire you in the process. And it's no different from what I've done before. Just here today to inspire you to continue and to keep going on process, the learning process. We primarily focus on English, but regardless of the learning process you're in, could be learning how to play a new instrument, learning how to read more, learning how to exercise more often, learning a new language, learning how to draw, learn dance, learning how to whatever. If you show up, you will develop. And that's what this episode is about. You gotta show up. Show up doesn't mean show off. Like it doesn't mean you have to try to stand out, be the person in light spot, nothing like this. But it means you have to be there every day doing what you got to do, and eventually you see results of what you started doing. Um, I've seen it myself in few different areas. A good example would be physical exercise. I used to be very active when I was young. I used to play soccer, but after I came back from the US, I wasn't that disciplined and motivated, and I realized I was definitely getting the effects of the lack of exercise, and I decided to get back into running, and then I started running more often. I was trying to run. I was running back then maybe 4 or 5. But my knees started to hurt a little bit, so I started to do some home, like the hit workouts, the high intensity workouts at home, and I've been doing it since then. Nowadays I have it's a friend of mine. He's a personal trainer, and he developed the training for me to do at home. And it usually takes me about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And what I do is very complex. I'm just kidding. It's not. I just show up. So I usually wake up, uh, and then I sometimes read before doing it. Sometimes I just go straight into working out. And I exercise. It's 50 minutes. And I take a shower. And then I'm ready to start the day. Uh, Other times when I'm not able to do it in the morning, which happens too, especially now after our baby was born. Um, what I do is I exercise later on in the day. So when I can't do it in the morning, I try to do it in the afternoon. Um, Sometimes I try to do it before lunch, and that doesn't work either. I do it later. But ideally speaking, I like to do it in the morning. But the point is, it's not if I do it in the morning, in the afternoon, or night, is the fact that I show up and do it. And I've seen results of it not only in my mind, but also in my body, um, which wasn't the primary focus, to be honest. But I consider to be in shape. I don't know what's my fat percentage right now. I need to do some sort of um, just like some sort of exam and analysis to see that. But I'm content with the way it goes, especially because it's not something I do out of obligation or something forcing me to do. Do it because I like to, want to, and show up. And the same thing goes here with the podcast. I'm not doing it because anybody's pressuring me on doing it. I'm the responsible for it to happen. If I don't record, there won't be episodes. And my purpose with this channel, with this project, is to help people to speak. And I know that it's not an easy journey, and it's not a thing that you will feel inspired or you'll be motivated, that you'll be pumped up every day on doing it. Just like it's not every day that we feel like doing everything we have to do. As I was just saying, I'm recording this, but I didn't want to be recording it right now after a long day of work. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it only because I've made a commitment with myself, with you guys, that I'll be posting an episode every Wednesday. Today happens to be Wednesday. And it's important also to note that I hadn't recorded it earlier, not because I didn't want to, but because I couldn't, because I was doing stuff that were more important early in the day, or also I had many private students today, or lots of meetings going on, which disabled me being able to do it. Um, yeah, so I was saying that the purpose is to help you guys to be inspired in the process because we know it's not an easy journey. But if we have a group of people or friends or people online or people um, in our families or somebody that's literally nearby us that could help, it is fantastic. Such a great way to develop and show up every day, do what needs to be done. And one thing I've been thinking about too is about priorities, how to establish priorities. You will not be able to do everything all the time, be everywhere. We need to select the things we want to do. We need to select the priorities, eliminate the, and many times we are so good into uh, eliminating the priorities just because it's more demanding. But every time you embrace a abandoned goal, you're actually step harder from the person you want. James Clear says that every action you take, the vote you want to be in the future. If you want to be somebody better in the uh, is walking towards uh, what you know you time in your life. So you're getting close. if you do little steps. The contrary is also true. If you don't do it, you're stepping further and farther away from the place where you want to accomplish. You want to accomplish. Make sure you start today. There's also a quote by somebody saying that it could be one day or a day one, meaning some things we just wish for, other things we work on them. When you decide to work on something, make it day one, which means the start of a process. And make things day one, especially as we're in the beginning of the year. Take the decision to do what you've been procrastinating for a very long time, and make it day one today as you're listening to the episode. It could be the diet, it could be the exercise, it could be reading that book, it could be even starting that business, it could be talking to that person, it could be starting to learn a new language, it could be getting back on track with your studies, either like high school, college, or a second language, or even any sort of self-study you abandoned on the way. But remember it. You show up every day consistently, and if you just show up, show up, show up, do it. Even in the days where you're tired, don't feel. Yes, that's the message I would like to share with you guys in this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, suggestions, please let us know. And I hope to see you in the last episode with more energy to record, better lighting, and a big smile on your face to make it more inspirational for you to continue learning. Hope you guys have a good one. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you have a good night or good morning, depending on the day you're watching, or a good afternoon or a good evening. I hope you guys have a good one. The next episode. Peace.